The story of the stupid boy going to school. Once upon a time there was a guy who was very gentle, but because of that, the villagers often called him idiot. His mother saw that he was inferior to his friends and loved him. One day, she called Go back, gave her a bag of silver and said, "Now you are older, but to avoid being inferior to your older brother or sister, you should go to school and come back when you learn some wisdom." Stupid listened to mother. Holding his bag of money and setting off, he walked until he reached a certain street. At the beginning of the market, I saw a crowd gathered around two people who were typing, "Fang Fang," to sell medicine. He stopped to watch. After a while, seeing that it was interesting, he came to ask for help in Feng, so he could learn the trade, promising to ask for a bag of money. These two people were teachers who specialized in treating diseases and selling medicine. When Nok came to study, he happily accepted. From then on, every day he followed the teacher to the market with a hammer. The two teachers taught him medicine and how to treat many diseases. Stupid studied hard, but because he learned first and forgot later, in 3 years he could only remember one eye treatment subject. He thought he had learned wisdom, suddenly remembered what his mother had told him when he left, and left. The two teachers said goodbye and returned home. When his mother saw him learning how to treat eyes, she wholeheartedly praised him. Wherever he went, she showed off his medical skills. At that time, a rich man in a neighboring village heard that Go was good at treating eyes, so he sent someone to invite him to treat his only daughter, who had an eye pain that had not healed for a long time. The rich man promised, "My daughter has had eye pain for more than 3 years. The famous doctors in the surrounding area have given up. If you cure her, I will marry her to you. Thanks to the medicine I have learned, idiot did it. Let the girl's eyes become clear again like before." She thanked Nok wholeheartedly and agreed to marry him. So without losing anything, you still get a beautiful and rich wife. But after the honeymoon period, Nok's wife learned that her husband had no other talent besides eye medicine. "Not only that, my husband also seems dull and stupid," she said so. As for Nok, since the day he got married to a rich wife, he hasn't gone to work as a pharmacist and just stays at home. 5 or 7 times, the wife advised her husband to go find the sick to treat him, lest he forget his profession. Dum listened to his wife and sometimes left, but every time he returned, his wife asked him and he replied, "Seeing that everyone's eyes are as bright as an owl's, who can I cure?" Seeing that, she told her husband, "My house is near the market, but I don't have enough capital to open a shop. You should temporarily go do a few trips, trading at the beginning of the market, eating at the end of the market, and then you will understand." The next morning, Go received the money and went to the market. Having money in hand, he went to the beginning of the market to buy bread to eat, then wandered down to the end of the market to buy gifts and eat. In the evening, when his wife asked him, he patted his stomach and replied, "According to her, I went to the top of the market to buy gifts and got tired of eating, then went to the bottom of the market to eat more until my mouth was full." Hearing that, Nok's wife was so sad. But still try again. The next market day, she made a load of cloth for her husband to sell. She advised, "You try to find a crowded place to display your goods." Stupidly carrying cloth and walking around from the beginning of the market to the end of the market, seeing that there were only a few dozen people everywhere. Looking at the hill at the end of the market, seeing a crowd of people, Knock immediately carried the goods to display in the yard. But no one bought it for him. It turned out to be just a school. In the afternoon, Knock returned home and told his wife, "Ha! Because I did what she said, I fell out of business. I tried to choose the most crowded place to display my goods, but the crowd was only good at playing, not buying anything." The wife asked, only to find out that the husband displayed fabric goods in front of the classroom. She suppressed her frustration and told her husband to stay home to teach him to be smart. One day, she gave her husband 2 gold bars, her own capital, to exchange for silver to add capital for another trading trip. Holding 2 gold bars in his hand, Knock walked near the riverbank. Suddenly he saw a pair of geese overlapping each other. The male goose pecked the female's head and then stepped on her, causing the goose to sink into the water. Seeing this, Knock thought that the 2 geese were fighting and felt sorry for the drowning goose. He immediately threw 2 gold bars into the abyss and happily laughed because he saw that he had managed to stop the pair of geese. When he got home, he boasted to his wife that he had done a good deed as big as the sky. When asked about the gold, he suddenly remembered that he had accidentally thrown it into the river. At this point, she realized that her husband was extremely stupid and could not become a wise person. She felt sorry for herself and was angry at her fate as a wife. A stupid husband. She choked up and left home all the way to the riverbank, intending to find the place where her husband had thrown the 2 gold bars. Could she wade down and find it? At the beginning of the village, she saw 2 boys placing a white flower on a buffalo manure and giggling as they walked. Seeing that, she suddenly felt sad and remembered the song, "Bioak Nung here. Put the monkey together a few times, you need to adjust your shoulders later, pay die die." Knowing that they were teasing her, she felt even more sorry for herself. She did not think about searching for the 2 gold bars anymore. She planned to throw herself into the river for the rest of her life. But as soon as she arrived at the wharf, she met a young man holding a sieve to scoop up river water and sift it again and again. Feeling strange, she asked, "Hey guy. What's the use of sifting water? Yesterday I accidentally dropped a needle here. I sifted the water to find it, but I've been looking since this morning and still haven't found it." She thought to herself, "It turns out, in the world, there are people more stupid than my husband. Although my husband is stupid, maybe not as bad as this guy." After that, she returned home, thinking as she walked, "Let's see what my husband is like, but he can't teach him. If you work hard, you'll get success." When she got home, she called her husband and said, "Dear man, don't be sad because you lost 2 gold bars. People make wealth, but wealth doesn't make people. From today, please try your best to study for a while. I would like to help you wholeheartedly." Seeing his wife's gentleness and soft voice, Idiot felt reassured. He listened to his wife, closed the door day and night and studied the word, "holy sage." She patiently taught each word, holding her husband's hand to practice each stroke. With his wife's loving care and guidance, I'm stupid and can move forward in my studies. He always read and wrote without getting tired. While eating, he also put a book in front of him to review. At night, when he went to bed, he still recited the lesson. Just like that, he gradually learned to write poetry and become rich. 3 years have passed. Knock has learned all of his wife's books. Seeing her husband's studies getting better and better, the wife became more and more eager to teach him. When her husband finished reading his bookbox, she borrowed her father's bookbox for him to read. Another 10 moons passed. Nok read through his father-in-law's bookbox. At the end of that year, the king opened the exam. She nervously took her husband to kin. Nok happily carried the tent and mat into the school. Over the past few semesters, his writing has been very smooth. Unexpectedly, on the day the results were announced, he passed the exam. The couple honored their ancestors. His mother came out to welcome him. She held his son's hand and happily said, "My children are very good at teaching each other to be good people." According to her words, told by Mr. Vong Viet Quang in Dong Dang, Lang Sun. Thank you for joining us for today's fairy tale. We hope these stories bring joy and meaning to your day. If you love our channel, please hit the subscribe button so you won't miss any exciting tales. Wishing you a good night and sweet dreams. See you in the next story.